Guess what? Guess what, Sadie? We about to start the show, and you right in the live feed right now. But guess what we doing? Guess what you gonna talk about? Guess what
I'm
you
not
gonna talk
talking about
about?
All right,
nothing.
Burden.
Guess
Hey,
what you gonna
Burden.
talk about?
Hey, Burden.
Talking about shit.
Hey, Burden. We're running the
I have
intro.
nothing to talk about.
Okay, they're running the intro right now. Guess what you gonna talk about?
But
You gonna talk about what you did and how you prayed private eye.
no,
Yes, you are.
absolutely not.
Yes, you
We're
are.
live.
No.
What's going on? I don't know why Sadie up here, but she up here. So what's that?
Wait, it's
Yo.
starting already?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Hey, we here again. It's Wednesday. Ask the Q, speak your truth. It's me, your boy, BurdenofProof. Thank you all for coming up here and showing some love to the show. I greatly appreciate it. I have we have a phenomenal panel today. We're gonna talk about some bees today. Kind of, sort of. But before we get into that, we got legs. Y'all see him? See, this is the first time I can actually publicly talk about him and put him on video. Y'all see him? My two-step, my running thing. Drew, you got that? Yeah, kind of, sort of, maybe. Am I throwing you off? My bad. But yeah, we got legs now. So yeah, I think a lot of people have been excited about these bum ass legs. The women have been bananas with these legs, I might add. No, yo, let me tell y'all right now. So the women, right? It's this one particular outfit that got fins on the side of them, right? That's so they booty, right? Everybody got that damn avatar now. Yo, and then it's another one with the like a computer chip joint, like here on the shirt, and then like got some leather pants or something like that. That yeah, it's all kinds of crazy up in this metaverse now. I already knew this shit was gonna happen. Huh, Jen? Didn't I say this was gonna happen about the legs? It was gonna be a competition. Didn't I say that? I told you. I tried to tell y'all. One more thing to look. Never mind. I ain't gonna go there. What else I was about to talk about? Yo, I just want to say shout out to Deion Sanders. Like for real, for what he's doing for NCAA football right now, and all the naysayers that feel that people of color can't be in the front and lead the pack in regards to head coaching for universities and football teams and things like that, and just being a phenomenal influence to his kids, man. You know what I'm saying, and creating a situation of generational wealth for them, in his own way. The man and everything that he does is unstoppably phenomenal, and I just think, you know what I'm saying, with the right trust and faith in God, I mean, I'm thinking anybody can accomplish the same types of things. There's nothing that man hasn't done and he hasn't shined on, from the football field to being a parent, to playing baseball, you name it, he's done it. Oh, he even did a rap album, kind of, sort of. What's that song he had? Must Be the Money. Must be the money. Y'all might not know that. My bad. Whatever. Hey, yo. And for my iPhone users, y'all little funky ass iPhone 15 is coming. But they giving y'all an Android charger. Bruh, I know y'all mad, but whatever. I hope it ain't nothing gonna change on that thing but the color. They might give y'all a new phone, a new camera or something, whatever. But yeah, if I was an iPhone user, man, I'd be Droid all day, all right, by now. Especially if they gave you that damn seaport. But it is what it is. We are here now. I think I'm good now. We all right? We touched on everything I think I need to touch on before we start the show. Look at Miss Malik coming up in here looking like she about to go to
Got Connect next week.
a DMX concert. Huh?
You got the Connect, Meta Connect next week.
What the hell is that? Meta Connect next week. What's that?
27th to 28th.
Who?
Meta Connect.
What is that? You want to elaborate?
Meta Connect, Mark Zuckerberg. He's going to be giving the keynote speech.
Where he going to be at?
He will be in California, but he also will be here in the
Meta. Oh, that's where y'all going.
I didn't say that. But anyway, but Mark will be in the meta. He will be talking about the new Oculus 3. We'll be talking about mobile and all the great things that are coming to Horizon. And I'm super excited about it. 27th
Is
and
that
28th.
where they? Oh, California. Oh man, they could have. You know what? Anyway, well, shout out to Mark Zuckerberg, I guess. No. Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg. And ain't nobody hating on California. Antioch.
We're not hating. We love it.
Nah, but for real. Shout out Mark Zuckerberg and all the strides he's making within Horizon World. We're gonna touch on a little bit of stuff. We ain't gonna talk about it right now, but we're gonna get there. Oh, we gonna get there. Don't think if I'm for one and not for one. Hold on. Let me get close to you. Yeah, there go Drew. Oh, we gonna get there. We're gonna definitely talk about it. So yeah, to think we not, or we are, but we're not gonna do that right now. And Miss Monique, yes, I definitely like your outfit. I'm gonna go to the DMX concert with you. We going? All right, bet. Hey, so real quick, I just want to highlight a couple of things before I bring our guest out. Shoot, they've been doing their thing since they've been in here as a couple. They have their own podcast / talk show. I call it a talk show, kind of, sort of. Yeah, I guess you can call it a podcast in regards to the type of way they set it up. But it's I fell in love with his set. Like he has a fascination for bees for whatever reason. Oh, they have a fascination for bees, shall I say, because they are definitely a dynamic duo in regards to what they do. And they generate a nice podcast and they come up with a lot of information. I'm kind of curious as to how they find their guests and what is the end goal in regards to doing what they're doing and what actually brought them within Horizon World, and how did they feel that what they're doing within their real life can transition here and they can have success. Again, like I said before, they are fascinated with bees. So I mean, I'm sure if you've been around the metaverse enough, you might already know who I'm talking about. So I'm not gonna say their real names because yeah, y'all fix y'all tags, man. Y'all fix y'all user tags because some of y'all done did something to y'all user tags and now y'all got y'all real names popping up and stuff like that. But look, we're gonna introduce my folks right now. Mr. and Mrs. Killer B. Come on up, please. Appreciate y'all. We got to get some music or something. There they go. There they go.
How are you guys doing?
What's happening?
She wanted me to come out first. I said she's supposed to go out first because she's the lady, but I think she wanted to look at my avatar butt. So I was like, all right, I'll go first.
It was absolutely that.
Yo, this is gonna be a phenomenal show. I can't. This is gonna be great.
You didn't know what you were getting into here.
All right, so check this out. Because we haven't figured out the ins and outs of how this thing works with us standing up now and having legs, we're gonna be standing because we can't sit down. So Mark Zuckerberg, I hope you got some keynotes in California for that. You dig what I'm saying? And how y'all gonna figure that out?
Let us sit.
Right? Press A, B, or something. Can I get one of these buttons to sit? But it is what it is. We're gonna get there slowly but surely. Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Killer B.
Hello.
Man, oh man, what's happening? What's happening?
Oh man, we're thrilled to be here.
Stuff, man.
Well, I'm glad you guys made it.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us, man.
We got the user tags popping right now. Finally, we got them right now. So we know about the metaverse stuff already a little bit. So we're gonna get into your business about that later. I want to get into your personal business first.
Since you know our real names now.
Yeah, right.
You're already Googling it.
I'm part of the family now. I'm part of the family now, so we good. So Mr. Killer B, we're gonna go with no, we're not. We're gonna go ladies first. Miss Killer B. Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming and showing support. I appreciate it. We're gonna start with you first as your own individual before you met Mr. Killer B.
I don't know if there's any Office fans here, but if I go like this, that's because I'm doing the Michael Scott saying, "I will kill you," if she's gonna answer something that she's not supposed to answer. So
we're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it. A general knowledge. We're gonna keep it general knowledge. So, ma'am, before you met Mr. Killer B, where are you from? Where did you reside at?
Yes, so I'm from Ohio.
Okay, Ohio.
Yep. Out in the country. And so I grew up line dancing and driving race cars.
Oh, okay. You a NASCAR fan?
I was. I'm not anymore so much. So our son really got us into F1 racing. So I love F1 racing. But
Okay.
yeah. But when I was younger, my dad was into NASCAR and he also built dirt track cars. And
Dale
so
Earnhardt, I'm almost positive. Well, go ahead.
yes,
Yeah.
true, very good. Yeah.
Okay.
What? Okay. And Junior, right? And
Yeah, and
so
Junior.
he built dirt track race cars and one of his friends taught me how to drive it. And so yeah, I was really into that for a while. And until we met and started dating, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. So it was short lived, but that was definitely part of my story.
Okay, so you were a tomboy.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So
And
what other thing? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I was a really interesting mix of like tomboy and super girly. It just depended. If I wanted to be a tomboy, I was a tomboy. Like I decided, oh, I'm gonna be a firefighter and I'm gonna drive a race car. And I don't know where all that came from. I'm super girly now. So
Well, thank goodness for that, huh, Mr. Killer V?
Yeah.
Okay. So what other things outside of race car did you do? Like, I mean, any type of sports, anything like that in high school?
I was a cheerleader actually.
Oh yeah, you were girly. Got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
See what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I
that
yeah, I had
NASCAR
like
was
two
hella
sides.
short lived, huh? Got
Yeah.
you.
So yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
don't
okay,
know.
Miss NASCAR / cheerleader. So man, you just threw me off with the cheerleading thing. 'Cause I didn't even know.
I'm so
I wasn't
sorry.
even expecting that. No, that is good though. So what's the difference between F1 racing and the NASCAR?
Oh, so much.
Well, they have a
Like-
turn right too. In NASCAR, they just turn left.
That's
So you
uh,
have to turn.
F1 has a lot of a lot of
Message.
road.
No, my bad. Go ahead.
F1 is fascinating to me because the drivers are international. So there's only, I think, 20 drivers in the whole world that get to play, drive for F1. And it's just fascinating. And if you're ever interested in learning about it, there's a documentary. Well, I guess it's a series on Netflix called Drive to Survive. And
Yeah.
it is just fascinating what
I
all
think
goes
what's-
into F1.
What's most
Gotcha.
interesting is like there's not just like people are excited to get like 5th, 6th place and stuff like that because the way their rankings are so much
Yeah, the way
different
the
than
points
NASCAR.
work. Exactly.
So it's a little
So
bit.
that
It's
I guess
just
is
very interesting.
it's a bigger money pot then, huh?
It is, yeah, definitely. And
Yeah.
we don't
because
have
the
tickets to
drivers
the
get
actual track because it's really expensive.
very expensive.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
just watch
that's
it
one
on
of our
Netflix.
life goals. Get ourselves to a F1 race.
Aren't they a cute couple? You see how they over talk each other and stop and do that thing that they do? Isn't that cute? Oh, they're soulmates. You see this? This is cute.
See, next time I
I
interrupt you,
love
say,
it.
"Oh, that's so cute, baby."
Okay, I will. I love to be interrupted. So cute.
Right, I bet. Okay, so after high school, I'm assuming college.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, what was your degree in?
I did not get my degree, but I got 2 years into a journalism degree and then I had to leave
Then you met his
college.
ass.
Yeah.
No.
She's
No,
like,
that is
"Why go back?"
yeah. Well, that would be a lovely story, but that's not what happened.
Okay.
I ran out of money and they said, you cannot come back unless you have some money. So I was
Wow.
like, oh my goodness, my life's over. Like total change of plans. That
Yeah.
is not what I planned for. But it did turn out that when I left school after the second year, I came home totally depressed, went to a party, met Brian, and
At
then
a
things started
fucking
looking up,
party.
At
a party, at one of your weakest moments, and he come rebounding.
Right, exactly. Like, hey, this girl looks depressed. Let's try that.
Hey, look, you can't get a better intro, sir. So, so this is your transition. So here we go. So let's tell the world about you, Mr. Killer V. Where do you reside from?
So actually, I'm originally from Ohio as well. We
Okay.
actually went to the same school, but I'm 2 years older, so we weren't in the same grade or anything, so we didn't really talk much to each other. But she lived right next door to one of my best friends. So I always had my honor for years. So
Okay, let's get
finally
that
got
straight real quick before we keep going. I'm gonna call you Mike about 3 or 4 more times because the Killer Mike thing is just a bad thing with the rapper. So I'm sorry, but so if you hear Killer Mike every once in a while,
Then I'll
it's
know
you.
you're talking
all
to
right,
me.
it's still your ass. All right, there we go. All right. So we're at
Exactly
the
what you
party.
mean.
We're at the
Yes.
party, and you meet her, and you think what?
So, okay, so let me clarify her story because what happened was I was at a party and I said, "Hey, let's go and get that girl from the gas station to come to the party." I knew who I wanted to come to the party and it was her. So I went down and
Aw.
asked her, I said, "You're invited to come. You should come." So she
He
came.
worked at the gas station.
So,
That's
yeah.
what he means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you?
Yeah, so
oh,
I already knew. I was
so
like,
you had your
"She's
eye on her for a minute.
for years." Yeah, for years.
Oh,
So, yeah. So,
So okay, so before you met her, what the heck was you doing in college? What was your degree in?
oh my gosh, my degree is I have 2 degrees. I have a degree in computer science, and then also have
Awesome.
a degree in theology as well. So,
But really,
Theology.
that's kind of
I
interesting,
love
though,
it.
Burden, because he didn't go to college till after we got married.
after, yep, she
Yeah,
encouraged me to
so-
do it. So I was like,
I love it.
So
Oh,
I was
so
in college.
what party
Yeah.
was this? Was this a college party? This was like a party
"There's a party in the
It was,
town. There's a
high
party in the
school
town."
friends that threw it, right, babe?
Okay.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Theology. So what's that about? Can you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, so I went to college for computer science, but I grew up in church and stuff, and we were actually at that time we were living almost right at the line of Indiana. We had been married for a while, and we moved out there, and we were serving at a church, and I was helping out with all their tech stuff and helping them with all that fun computer stuff. And during that time, I just wanted to learn more about the background behind the Bible and stuff, and so they had a college, and I said, "Hey, I heard I could sit in the classes for free, so I would love to do that." And they're like, "Actually, we would like to give you a whole scholarship for free because of all the work you've done." So I was like, "All right, that's cool." So I just
Awesome.
dove into it just to learn more, just to learn more about the culture and the history behind that. So yeah, so that's basically
You got an
it,
honorary degree. I love it. I love
Yeah, I
it.
loved it. I loved it. It was
Yeah.
great.
So what type of work? Okay, so what type of before Oculus Metaverse meeting? What type of work were you doing and things like that to that nature?
All right, so I've worked in the broadcasting industry, in the radio broadcasting industry, Christian radio for a little bit over 7 years.
There it
So,
is.
Yep, there it is.
You have no idea how many puzzle pieces you just completed for me.
I'm sure that probably was like, I just put it all together right there.
The whole thing. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
How did you make that noise? That was awesome.
Got you. I don't know. It would never happen twice. I promise you.
It's
I don't
probably
know
some
how it
gizmo
happened.
he has in here somewhere. We just don't see it. No.
It was
Okay,
the sound
so
of cards
broadcasting.
shuffling. I loved it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yep, so
okay.
I
So go ahead.
Yeah, so broadcasting, I was the at a station in Cincinnati. I was their content and digital marketing director, and so I led their whole creative team and did all that. And we worked with a lot of artists and personalities. And in 2019 was when we decided to launch the business. Well, I'm like probably sitting on a chair. Launched
there
the
we go.
business full time. And we reached out to start helping stations. Now we work with stations in Canada, all throughout the United States. But we do digital consulting, coaching as well. So that's where we started getting into the metaverse, because our whole focus is connection. Like when it comes to digital, we're always creating strategies and helping them realize, how can you use digital to really make the best connection with your listener, with your audience, to help them. And I literally put on the headset filming a commercial for one of the conferences that we were speaking at. And when I put on the headset, I was literally poking fun at the metaverse, but then I saw what was happening, and I was like, whoa, it was something I couldn't shake for probably 2 months.
Yeah.
We were going to church and stuff, and I was like, I just can't quit thinking about how people are going to put on that headset, and some of the people that's going to be putting them on are going to be trying to escape reality and their problems. But I can't shake the thought of, how do we share hope and love of people in virtual reality? How do we do that? So that's where I was like, you know what, we need to go ahead. If this is what we do, we consult and coach on this. So let's get headsets. Let's learn more about it. And we kind of launched the whole studio idea as we're going to launch the studio and do consulting and coaching there. But after our first interview, I was like, you know what? We're not going to do that. We're actually going to do what is in my heart is to bring people together, share stories, real life stories, and show everybody that we're a lot more alike. Whether it's celebrities coming in, if it's us in here, just like us, like people coming, like no, it's everybody has a story, and your story can help somebody else.
Yes.
So that's where the whole studio started being birthed, and it's just continued to grow from there.
Okay, so Killer Bee though, what's the
Yeah.
fascination with bees? Where does that come from? Where did you get the Killer Bee from?
Oh,
What is
Killer
that?
Bee. so that's funny. So Killer Bee originally started as a company called Sunline Media back in 2010. I
Gotcha.
lost my job during the economy crash. Couldn't get a job anywhere, and we launched the business Sunline Media. And I was trying to be really cool with the words, but it really was really confusing. Everybody thought I like sold online like internet and stuff. It was a mess. So, anyways, when I got into radio, I put the business on hold, kind of like on maintenance mode, and worked with the radio industry. And during that time was when God really helped give me a focus, like this is what you're supposed to be doing. And then when it came to the time to launch out the business full time to help other stations and stuff, I was like, well, I got to change the name. This name doesn't work. This is too confusing. I can't keep going on this route. And I was kind of obsessing over it. And during prayer,
Shocker.
like, yeah, I know. Mr. Killer Bee knows. During prayer, God was just making it clear to me, like, quit thinking about it. It's just going to come when it comes. Don't worry about it. So we were sitting. We were actually the story gets kind of crazy. We lived in an RV for 2.5 years. So
Wow.
so we were in the RV, and my son was like, Dad, you got to check out these deck of cards. You're gonna love them. And I looked at him, and it said Killer Bee, and I was like, that's it. And he's like, what? I was like, that's the business name, because marketing has changed. So Killer Bees, like, marketing is not just handing out a pin. It's all the digital and tracking and pixels and stuff that follow people. It's like Killer Bees. Killer Bees will chase, we don't call our clients victims, but they do. They chase their victims like 10 times further, and they sting them multiple times. I was like, so yeah, Killer Bee marketing. So we just kind of carried it over into here, because once we started doing work with people, it kind of, my real name's Brian. So when we work with people, my good buddy Josh Lorich from 55 Promotion, you guys should check him out online, 55promotion.com. He does promotion for artists. So if like for King of Country, he's one that found him and got them going. I mean, just awesome guy. But he's like, I did a website for him. He's like, this is Killer Bee. And then it just started continuing to happen through the whole industry. People would call me Killer Bee. And so now it's like, well, why don't we make Killer Bee Studios, and we'll just make our names Killer Bee. And then Mrs. Killer Bee was born.
And we've really taken that to the next level. So when we send like Christmas gifts out to all of our clients, and we send them honey, and then we send them an immunity tea that we blend ourselves. And
Yo, no. They're dead ass serious. They are for real sending tea, honey, and everything else. I almost felt the way. I was like, because they asked for my address. I'm like, what the hell are they trying to do? Trying to find me something in real life? I'm like, nah, hell no, I ain't giving you my address. You know what I'm saying? And now the whole Christian thing and everything else, I feel hella bad. Now I'm like, yo, God finna get me. Yo.
Well, people ask me like, are you kill bees? Because like people really think like we kill bees. That's what we do. I was like, no, that's just not really not the name. That's not what we do. We don't.
Yo, because you're so forthcoming. You're like, thank you, I appreciate it. Send me your address, and I'm like, yo, that's not just like it's not regular. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
nobody has not sent me out their address.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, so. No one has ever refused to give us their address. So we must like put off like a somewhat trustworthy vibe.
Yeah. Hey, you have to. You definitely have to. And you guys do give that off all the time, especially with the show. and things like that. Even when I was a part of it. For those who don't know, I was a part
It's
of
a great show.
their show. In
Yes.
regards to talking about vets and things like that.
Yeah.
He reached out and thought I had a decent enough story to share.
Oh,
Along
great
with my
story.
guy right here. You right there, man. The coach right there. You know what I'm saying? I have my guy right here. My guy, man. The coach is with me too. You
I
know,
even
so
see him dressed down. Look at
yeah,
you.
you know,
He's dressed
like,
down, man.
he don't have his little suit on right now. He bought. He spent that little $199. I ain't spending nothing. No, but for real. Yo, but but nah, and being part of the show, the purpose is definitely greater. Like I said before, once you said the broadcasting and Christian, I'm like you completed the whole puzzle, because of course part of the show for me is being nosy and figuring out, you know what I'm saying, what you guys do and things like that. So I was like, how the hell does he have all these guests? Like, where did he get all these podcast guests from? So now, and understanding that you have a background in broadcasting, I'm like, you had a whole broadcast you could have got.
Yeah.
Well,
Let
you
me
know,
also-
this is, you know, go ahead, Mrs.
Yeah,
Clever.
I want to say something really interesting about Brian is that he is not afraid to ask anyone for anything. So, not me. You know, I'm like, oh, can I please ask you a favor? But I don't want to bother you. And it's totally fine if you want to say no. And don't worry about, like, don't even answer this email. Just forget all about it. Well, Brian will ask anybody. So, like,
Right.
he just reaches out sometimes to random people that he has no connection to. And
Yeah.
sometimes they just say yes. And it's amazing. I mean, I'm always like, and people don't intimidate him. So, like,
Right.
you know, sometimes it just in the line of our work, like we might run into some like Christian music celebrities, you know. I've literally got nothing to say. I'm just like, he nobody intimidates him. You know, he always says like everyone's just people. Like just talk to them like they're
They're just
people.
people. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I can't do that, but he can, thankfully.
I'll say a funny story that just happened. And so they have like one of the biggest conferences every year happens in Orlando, and it was like, what was that, in June or August or something like that?
Yeah,
I guess it was
yeah.
June. Yeah, June. And we were in there, and you know, I had just walked out of the bathroom, and I was out talking to some friends. And I don't know if you guys know if anybody knows who Brandon Lakes is, but Brandon Lakes was there, and he was in the restroom, and people were like in there talking to him. And I came out, and I was like, yeah, Brandon Lakes was in there talking. And
Let me interrupt you.
Our friend,
If you
yes.
don't know who that is, he's the one who sang Graves into Gardens, which a lot of people, if
Yeah.
you know Christian music, you know that song. So
Graves in
that's
the
who,
Garden. Anybody
Graves
raise
in
their
the
hand?
Gardens.
Maybe.
Yep. Yeah,
Y'all
and if
know
you
that
don't
for
know,
real?
go look it up.
They
It's an
know.
awesome song. He's a really
Okay.
good artist.
he's a really
And
good artist.
so I walked out, and
You
we're
know
out
it
there with
too?
our friends.
oh,
Oh,
you're
if-
right,
there's
yes.
TV on it, yeah.
Man, I'm about to
Yeah.
go listen to it. I better know
You
it
gotta-
too then.
Oh man, it's a
Brian,
great
you
song.
have to look up that song
Yeah.
and listen
It's
to the live
amazing.
version.
Yeah.
If you don't
It's
cry,
great.
I will give you $5. Seriously,
Okay. All right.
We don't have $5.
you can find it.
Okay, all right. Well, so we go to
I
so
love
we're
these
out in the
guys.
lobby with all our friends, and I was like, yeah, Brandon Lakes is in there. It was getting full in there, and people were all talking, and they're like, Brandon Lakes, like he's like one of our son's favorite people. Like he did this video a long time ago, and I was like, we wish we would have got a picture with him. I was like, oh well. I was like, hold on. I just went back into the bathroom, and she's like, oh no. So here I come out with Brandon Lake and all their people, and I'm like, hey, come on over. Like, yeah, I went in, interrupted, and said, hey, there's a guy out here. Like, we'd love for you guys to come get your picture with him. He's like, yeah, definitely. But they're just regular people. I think the worst
That's
thing is
it.
people just say no. You know,
That's it. Yeah.
it's. And
I
like, you'd be
mean, and
surprised.
definitely, in an avatar form, it's a lot easier now. I mean, I'd be damn if somebody tell me no in this shit. Huh? No, I'm playing. No, I'm just playing.
I agree. It is so much easier with an avatar.
No, it really is. It really is
Yeah.
it's a lot easier.
I agree.
That threw me off. But before I keep going, I'm gonna let y'all know, because again, if you guys have any questions for Mr. or Mrs. Killer B, I have these blocks right here for the Ask the Q boxes right here. So feel free, because y'all already know I ask all day, every day. So yeah.
I love it.
And I'll tell you what. So, okay, I guess one thing that has to be is whoever is not afraid to give us their address. But I think let's go ahead and if anybody has questions, we'll let Burden of Proof decide who has the best question, and that person will get some free honey. We
We're
can
gonna
ship out
send
some
you
honey.
some honey.
You
Okay, how
see
about
how
that?
you
There you
see
go.
how that he's always a
Yes,
host.
Jen.
Jennifer's
You
already
see how he's
jumped up.
always a host. He's always a host. He's always a host. He's always hosting, even when he's supposed to be the one getting questions asked to him. I
I
love
mean,
it.
it's true. Honestly, it really is true.
Jennifer,
He's a host in
hold
real
on,
life.
Jen. Now you know your whole name is up there now,
No,
right?
don't be running up like that. So, yes. Is my whole name showing now?
Yes, it's Jennifer
whole
Smash.
thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep.
Oh, dang. Okay. Well, my name is Jennifer Smash. So, it is.
Hi,
I was actually
Jennifer.
gonna make mine say Dwayne Johnson before I came back in, but I didn't know how to spell Dwayne.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
Well,
was
listen, you never asked me for my address, and I am a big honey fan
Yes.
because did you know that in the hospital when I was getting my legs amputated, I had a problem healing, and what the doctors gave me was a honey patch, actually made from honey.
Serious.
And that
Yes.
actually heals wounds. So honey is very powerful.
That is
and
so
I'm a
true.
big fan, and that's what drew me to see you guys. Congratulations on your show. I think is a wonderful Christian show. You have great guests, and just continue success. And I love you guys, and keep on making it happen. But I need my honey.
We
Yes,
love you too,
okay.
Jennifer. And we are gonna be reaching out to you. Actually, Mrs. Killer B,
Yes.
like she's got a
okay.
whole list of people that
Yes,
go ahead,
I
you
have a whole
explain.
list of people. Meta coach. He's number one on the list because he was
Oh,
the.
better coach, you gave your address.
Yeah, he did.
We're
He
way
gave us his
behind.
address. He gave us his address months ago, and I'm so
Yes.
behind on sending out our honey packages. For one reason or another, you know how it is. But every single time I see Meta Coach, I think, oh, I gotta get those packages out.
This
Every
is her
time.
thing. Like
It is my
like,
thing.
She's the hospitality person. Like in
Blame
the
her.
business, and she's amazing.
Blame her
So
when you don't get your
if you
honey.
don't get your honey,
You
go
can-
to Mrs. Killer B.
Yeah, you can blame me and thank me both. It's my idea, and I'm the one that's way behind.
So you could have done a number of things to I guess bring in Christianity and things like that. Well, spread the message of Christianity and things like that within this space,
Yeah.
but you chose podcast. Why podcast outside of anything else?
Yeah, so the reason, okay, so kind of like our approach at Killer Bee Studios is, I guess to start there, our focus is connect, share, transform, connect with people.
Connect, share,
Because without
transform. Love
connection,
it.
it means nothing. And it's all about, we take the approach of sharing our personal stories because I think people relate. Like, the Bible talks in Revelations that the enemy is defeated by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of our testimony. A lot of people's testimonies, you don't hear much anymore. And like, we want to create a platform that allows people to come and share their stories. Now, we'll have people come that share their stories that they don't have to be a Christian, but they know like where we're coming from, because it opens up a door for us to share our God experiences as well. Because sometimes it's not always the person on the platform that is maybe encouraging the people in the audience, but sometimes it's the people in the audience encouraging the person on the platform.
Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
So we
100%.
focus on the stories in all hopes to transform. So we're planting seeds. It's like really, it's a studio for planting seeds.
Definitely.
But we first started off doing videos, and then obviously, as you guys probably know, before we had legs, I can say, in the industry, people didn't really get it. It's like, what? You don't have no legs. You're a floating torso. So, I really see the opportunity here in the future of broadcasting in here as well as what you can do. So we stopped the videos. I was like, well, let's wait till we get legs. Let's just go right to the podcast, because the podcasts are usually about 40 minutes long. And a lot of people go back and listen to it later and, pause it and come back. But on a video, it's harder to kind of keep their attention that long. But now that we do have legs, what the heck is going on? I have something beeping in here.
Oh,
What is that? Is that my headset? I don't know. What the heck?
we
It's
don't
like,
hear anything.
I don't know. My headset's going do do do. Oh, it's got an incoming call. Hold on a second. That was interesting.
Somebody's trying to call
How do
you.
I end that? Decline. I don't even know who that person is. All right. Yes,
Who's
Lord?
calling
No.
him?
The podcast people will listen to, but we are actually right now looking at we're wanting to get some help, and I see these camera guys, so it's giving me some ideas because
Yeah.
we're actually setting up.
See,
camera
Drew, we already
spots
ahead of the
in
game,
there.
baby.
So
Yeah.
yes, you guys are doing great.
Far.
But that we will be bringing it into video pretty soon. So,
Awesome.
but podcast is a great platform that people. We did videos and we didn't get many views, but on podcasts we get downloads all the time. And now if you go to killerbeestudios.com, you'll see now that we're actually taking this podcast and also creating blog posts so they live online so people can search and find these stories. So it's all about expanding the footprint on digital for more people can find the stories, whether they're in Horizons or if they're searching online to connect them with those problems and those stories.
Right. And Sundays you do praise and worship.
Sundays we do praise and worship. Yep, live praise and worship. Yep.
Okay, so live praise and worship. Okay. When you telling me live praise and worship, you telling me that there's somebody somewhere with an Oculus on preaching?
Yes. So actually on live with Oculus on, and they're singing and doing worship songs, so like praise songs and stuff. So
Gotcha.
so we have some people from the audience that will come and do songs. I'll do some songs sometimes, and we'll have people that's doing instruments and stuff live. Because there is a church that we go to, Living Waters Bible Church. So what I do is they were playing a lot of bots playing music, and I was like, hey, you guys know what? What do you guys think about us doing a 30-minute session before service at the Killer Bee Studios of live praise and worship? We'll actually play the instruments, play songs, sing. People can come and sing too if they want to do that. If they want to do a song, all I ask is like just kind of give me like a week before so I kind of can prepare for that and let people know. But then they come and do that and they share their prayer request or praise report, and then after half an hour we drop a portal and everybody goes right on over to the church service. So that's what we do on Sundays.
Awesome.
So to answer your question, yes, there is also somebody with a headset on somewhere preaching the word every week.
And a Living Waters. Yep.
Got you. Okay. Love it. Okay.
And I
So
know there's you guys probably
Killer
know
Bee.
Johnny Smooth too, don't you? Do you guys know Johnny Smooth? Because
Interesting you say that. Sometimes I think I'm just that good at what I do in regards to doing this thing. Cause that was just an alley-oop to my boy in the back. And he better be on the box by now. You know what I'm saying? So he can go ahead and put that plug in. So go ahead and put that plug in. You know who Johnny Smooth is, sir? Is he there?
We all
Okay, he's
know
there.
who Johnny Smooth is.
My
Listen,
God.
Killer, we love you here in the metaverse. We're just so thankful to have faith-based businesses here that understand that that connection is real, and without it, there would be nothing as far as humanity goes. And if you don't have the spirit of goodness and kindness and God within you, there's no way that you could actually survive. So Johnny is on T-Bot. He's one of our amazing pastors here in the metaverse. And we're just so happy that all of the pastors and community-based spiritual leaders get together and they know each other and they're on one accord. And it's just so good. It's so good and pleasant. Thank you.
Oh,
Yes,
that's awesome.
I love Johnny Smooth. Like I try to. It's what Sunday nights. I think at 9 is what when his service is.
Go ahead and put the plug in.
Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Is that right?
Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Johnny Smooth at Word of Grace Meta Church.
Yes, Word of Grace. Yeah.
Yo, I set
He's
the
good,
whole
man.
joint up. He over there giving them segments. What we doing here?
Listen, I was just so excited about having you guys here and on the message that you bring. I was going to wait till the end, but I couldn't help myself. Thank you so much, Burden.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
thank you, guys.
Man, you already know. That was the alley-oop.
Hey, make sure you
So-
let Johnny know I mentioned him twice, so let's make sure he knows that. So no.
Yo, and to the point, if you get name dropped, that means you're doing something phenomenal. You're doing something right. Everybody's not remembered. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of other people doing praise and worship in here too. He ain't say their name. So shout out Johnny Smooth, man. Like for real, man. Hey, like straight up. Shout out to my guy Johnny, man, for doing this thing every Sundays as well. Um, now for you guys, long term, in regards to what you guys are doing with spreading your message. Okay, what? Okay, yeah. What is the overall mission in regards to what you're doing?
So the overall mission, so this is kind of interesting because it's ultimately what the mission is just to be able to share a story to one person. To me, if somebody shows up and we have an opportunity to share a real life story that can help somebody, help transform their life, then that's a success for a show. That's what a success for me
Facts.
for the show is.
Yes, sir.
As we continue to go down this journey with everybody, I'm seeing more and more the opportunity to, we launched the website because I'm starting to actually promote to the industry now to actually try to bring in more people because I want them to understand this is a real platform for broadcasting. And the more I see it, I'm like, we are the only broadcasting studio in here for the CCM radio industry. So I'm like, this could be real. So we're actually in some discussions right now with some people that actually work with a lot of artists to try to bring in more. So I'm like, again, it's about just bringing them in to be able to share those stories. So I'm like, could we be the broadcasting studio for Christian radio? I don't know. I
So
mean,
let me go ahead and throw that alley oop there too. Yo, I already get that vibe from what you're doing. Like I compare what you're doing on the realm of Soapstone and what they're doing. Like
yeah,
that's where I see you guys. Like the setup and everything. Like you have these ideas and the way you do things and the way you're promoting how you're like even your setup for your just for the studio. I mean, that it just gives me a soapstone vibe, and I'm just looking at them like, okay, the merchandise is coming, the Killer Bee merchandise is coming. It's about to come with the t-shirts and the mugs and things like that, and it's just going to branch out to things, but it's a whole different lane that is
Right.
untapped within this metaverse. Well, not really untapped. I wouldn't say it's untapped, but in the manner in which you guys are doing it, it's definitely it hasn't had a lot of push behind it, if you will,
Yeah.
or it hasn't gained a lot of traction in the manner in which the traction has been gained for you guys based on your broadcasting background and things like that. So you just ushering everything that you've done in your real life right in here, so you're not missing a beat. Some people have to create it within themselves, within this
Sure.
space, and that's the hard part, and that's how they lose
that is
traction.
hard.
Your traction comes from your real life, and you just molding it down. So
And we want to
definitely,
help. We want to help too. That's why we built the Killer Bee marketing office too. Like we've got some plans for that still. We just launched it. I'm gonna be sharing that Jennifer Smashes event that's coming up too, like with her entrepreneurs that her VIP entrepreneurs stuff that she's doing right now. But we're gonna have some plans to help people in here as well because what we do at Killer Bee Studios, we're really blessed because Killer Bee Marketing is our real business. So if you go to killerbeemarketing.com, you're going to see my real name. You're going to see a real video of me. You're going to see what we do business wise. But since we are in digital and our focus is connection, like our purpose, this is what I really want to teach to and here in Horizons from the Killer Bee Marketing office. We're going to have some coaching sessions where people can come for sessions once a month to teach them ideas on how to market what they're doing here, but also how to stay focused. So for Killer Bee Studios, and Killer Bee Marketing, our purpose statement at Killer Bee Marketing is to make digital personal and to transform more lives. So whatever we do in real life in our business, if we're working with a client, if they don't pass our purpose statement, then we don't do business with them. Because that's like our filter for everything that we do. So the same thing at the studio, we're careful of hey, let's make sure it filters through that system of connect, share, and transform. I have other people from business that wants to come and do shows. I'm like, okay, well, cool. Let me send you the application online, take the application, fill it out. So you kind of understand where we're coming from and what we're looking for you to share. We have artists that come and share their new songs and stuff. We have a Christian rapper coming out not this Thursday, but next Thursday.
Yes, exactly.
But he's sharing his personal story. He's going to do a live song afterwards. But I was like, but it's like, it's not,
Awesome.
the song's cool, but we want to know we want to know what has happened in your life that
Right.
other people can relate with. Maybe you've struggled with depression or anxiety or whatever it may be, or, you know, a life lesson you've learned that you can pass on to somebody else.
I love how you do that. Because now I'm going to ask you guys, because with Christianity, some people, certain situations may occur in their life to where you're faced to have no other choice but to lean to God. So
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
going to ask both of you guys, what was that situation, if that was the case, in regard to your lives? Like,
Yeah.
was that the type of situation that took place to where you were like, okay, I have no other choice, I have to look to God for this? God, where are you? I need your help, or whatever have you, if you
Yeah.
want to share those stories.
Yeah.
You want to go first,
You want me?
Mrs. Killer
Yeah,
Bee?
definitely.
Yeah.
The most drastic and the most obvious time that happened in our life was um it's so crazy how it happened, and it's so beautiful how God set it up. But basically, like in a very quick succession, I quit my job because we were moving to another town and I was going to stay at home with our son. And as soon as we moved there, Brian lost his job. So we all of a sudden, neither one of us had a job, no money in savings, could not pay the bills, could not buy groceries. So it was dire. And it was the most obvious that I've ever seen God move in our life because
Mm,
as scary as that was at certain times, you know, Brian just kept saying, like, we have to trust in the Lord. Like, whatever opportunities he brings to us, we will take those, but he is going to be the one that takes care of us. And the wild things that happened to us during that time period. I mean, you know, one of the ones I remember the best is we were at church one day and one of our friends said, hey, Brian, I put something in your Bible. Okay, just I'll talk to you about it later. Well, he forgot all about that. And we got in the car and there was something sticking out of the edge of his Bible and I pulled it out and it was a check. And it was like $937 or something like that. Do you
oh
remember the
wow.
exact number? He
Yeah.
always remembers. And it just so happened that our electricity had just been turned off, and the amount that we needed to pay to get it turned back on was just within a couple of dollars of what that check amount was. And I
Mm,
just remember looking at that check and just nobody knew. We did not tell
Yeah. Didn't tell
anybody. We didn't
anybody.
tell our parents. We didn't tell our friends. We didn't tell anybody that our electricity was turned off. In
mm,
fact, we just told our son that we were camping for a couple days.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we're just
It
gonna
was
put
it was winter
fires in
time
the
and we were
fireplace. Yeah, it was wintertime. That
gathered
was
around the
back
fireplace.
back in the days before, you know, they have a thing now where they can't turn your electric off in the middle of winter, but back then they did not care.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just turned it off anyway.
Yeah.
But
right, right.
anyway, I would just look at that check and I thought, only God could have done this. Like, these are people
Yeah.
who didn't know us super well. They were, I would say, acquaintances. I mean,
Yeah,
friends, but
they're
yeah,
friends, but we weren't like crazy close friends.
yeah, and they had
And when
no
that
idea what was going on.
idea, yeah, because I actually reached out to him. I was like, man, I was like, you have no idea. I was like, thank you so much. And he said, you don't have to thank me. Like, this is God. I was like, no, you don't understand. I do have to thank you because God tells us that we'll give you something to do, but it's up to you to be obedient. I was like, and you have no idea. Like, this was exactly, it was $2 more than what we needed. And I was like,
Mm,
if you weren't obedient to write a 900 and something dollar check to give to us, knowing that this is what God told us to do, I was like, that takes a special person to hear God do that and then write that check and hand it
yes,
over. I was
yes.
like, so thank you. And
And
during
So
that
really,
that,
I
that
time,
mean,
so
yeah,
in
really,
turn, they have to be just as connected with their spirit as you guys are to receive the gift. Basically, what
yeah.
you're
yes,
saying.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
I just want to push back on that idea a little bit. Like, it doesn't take a special person. It just
yeah,
takes someone who's willing to hear from God. Like, he will work through
Yes.
yeah.
anybody, literally anybody. It
Anybody,
doesn't matter if you think you're the biggest mess on earth. Like, God wants to work through you. And
yeah,
so, you know, all it takes is being in communication with him, you know, keeping your heart open to him, and he will work through you and for you. And,
yep. And
you
it doesn't
know,
have to be a big check either. If God tells you to reach over and tell someone, I care about you. To encourage them. You don't know what they're thinking in their mind right now, what their life, what they're going through, and what they're carrying. Feeling like maybe they feel like nobody loves them, and you tell them that you love them, or you want to pray. Something comes up, you want to pray for them. You see a need, reach out. Don't. I always say it's something I had to learn during that time. When that happened at that time, when I lost my job, I was literally on the way home from work and riding with a lady because our hours had been cut for a year. So I was riding with a lady because I didn't have gas money to get there. And knowing that I lost my job, we had lost our house during the economy crash or during the housing market crash. Before that, we lost our first house. And so I'm sitting there thinking, we just moved out here. I'm getting ready to lose everything again. God, like, what are you doing? Like, why is this happening? We moved out here because we felt like this is where you wanted us to go. And during that time of me crying out to God, what he told me was, I'm going to teach you how to trust me. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? Trust you? God, I trust you. He's like, no, I'm going to teach you how to trust me. And I had no idea. I really didn't know how to trust him. Like, I know here we don't have to worry about it, but he basically, what he showed me was he wanted me to learn how to trust him like we trust sitting down on a chair when we walk into a room. We don't go check all the legs. We just go and we sit down expecting it to hold us. And that's what he wanted to teach us. And that was a game changer for us. I mean, a game changer. And he continues to do that. So even when I left the radio station to do the business full time, I had a guy ask me, he's like, I don't get it. How could you leave this job? You have a good salary to step into doing this business and you don't know what's going to happen. I was like, well, here's the cool thing. I was like, I'm excited because I've been there. Because when I was there, I saw God do things that I could never imagine without stepping out in faith. I was like, but on the other hand, I am scared to death because I've been there. I was like, but you know what? But it's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, so the flesh makes you scared, but your soul makes you excited for the journey because you know he's gonna be there, and he's gonna it's gonna be there. Man, when I tell you, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about because I literally had to relocate from California to Georgia. And because to help my mom assist in raising my brother's son. He's 5 years old now, and I dropped everything in California. Wow. Like when I say everything, I mean everything. But again, my flesh is scared as hell because you just don't know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? But I know I'm excited in the journey because I know I'm gonna double everything I did in California.
Yeah.
I just don't know how it's going to come, but I know there's going to be a struggle with that. That's the scary part because you don't want to go through that. You don't want to go through that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like finding a relation, like finding somebody else to love or something like that. Who wants to go through that turmoil or figuring that person out again? But like if you trust your soul in God, the end result is going to be happily ever after in some way, shape, or form.
That's right. Amen.
Yeah, so
beautiful.
It's not easy. We just talked about that at a church. I was speaking at Living Waters Bible Church on Sunday, and we talked about taking on the yoke. Yeah. And I said, one thing that I'm learning is like taking on the yoke doesn't mean like, hey, he said, he'll take the burden, his yoke is easy and we'll find peace and stuff. I was like, but he doesn't say take on the yoke. That doesn't mean like, okay, go on vacation, rest up, but go take some time off. No, taking on the yoke means there's going to be work to be done. But it's not going to be easy. But if we follow beside him and take on that yoke, we'll learn the joy that there is in following his ways, which is a lot different. It's not. I told Mrs. Killer B, usually if I'm checking, like, is this something God really wants me to do? If in my flesh, I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, then I probably really got to be listening because
listen.
I got to really listen because that's probably something that I need to really pay attention, and it's probably something that God wants me to do.
Right. Okay. So you said you've built your own marketing studio and things like that. So you guys are the builders as well.
No. So we built Killer Bee Studios. Killer Bee Studios is built by our team. The actual office space, the builder, his name is, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember. It's Neck Irv. I can't remember his name.
It don't even matter. I just wanted to confirm you had a build team. That's all.
Yeah, we have a build team at Killer Bee Studios, but we did actually hire a world builder. He sells real estates in here, and we hired him to do the office because like I don't have time to build the office, but I drew up the plans. So I drew up the plans, handed it to him. I said, "This is what I like." He did an amazing job, and then we brought in our scripter to make. All the doors are working now, Burden. So just let you know, like you can get out of the offices now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So y'all don't know this. Y'all don't know this. So me being nosy and doing research on things and things like that before I do these shows, and I go to all this, I go to the worlds and things like that just to do research. I go to this man's what?
The office, yeah.
It was one of the offices. I go in there and I got stuck. I'm pressing buttons and stuff, trying to get out, and I could not get up out this damn building. Yo, so I'm like, yo, and lo and behold, guess who? Yeah. Guess who come creeping? This guy right here. MF son come creeping with that old ass sweatsuit on and a damn Run DMC hat on. I was dying. I was like, yo, I was laughing, scared in there because I'm a claustrophobic. Even in here, I'm a claustrophobic, knowing damn well all I gotta do is drop the damn controllers and I'm fine. In here, I'm like, yo, let me out of here. Y'all don't feel that?
Creepy. I mean, when I went in there, I was like, man, I can't get out of here at all. So this is kind of weird.
Yeah, but we came in to find you, and he's like, he got stuck in the office.
yeah. Because our scripter, he's at a conference right now. And he does scripting in real life for a logistics company.
Okay.
So I told him, I was like, I want the office doors when they automatically slide open and close, but the office's doors are supposed to stay open unless we hit a button on the desk, which closes it. So if we're having a meeting, we can have a closed meeting with a client or, or somebody that we're teaching, but it's not supposed to close unless we push that button. So when you walked in, the door just shut and it's like, yeah, you can't open it because you can't push the button.
And I'm looking like, okay, I know there's got to be an exit plan somewhere around here.
It was an escape room. That's what we were building, an escape room. It's an office / escape
out
room.
Of that damn thing. Okay, so moving forward, what do you guys see yourselves doing? Like you said before, you're going to start hopefully broadcasting and things like that. But like, what's I know you talked about the overall goal, but like, what's your future plans for Killer Bee Studios?
Yeah, overall? I mean, I hope that Killer Bee Studios will be able to place where people will be able to tune in. They'll be able to come in and watch the shows, grow from those experiences. The more speakers that we bring in, guests, and again, it's not just guests. Like if there's people here, it's like, man, I got an amazing story that God's done in my life. Please come and talk to me, because we've literally had people come to the studio, and we had one person that said, "I'm just an ordinary person." I'm like, "No, dude, you don't understand. You have a story, and your story is powerful, and I would love for you to come share it." And that person did. Now let me just share. Like, this is what happened. This person shared the story, and what's cool is stories usually go in a different direction than I even expect. Yeah. And that happened that night. And there was a guy that came into the show after the show. He said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" I was like, "Yeah, I would love to talk to you." Never met him before. And he said, "I got on the headset tonight, and you don't know me, I don't know you. But when I got on the headset, this is when we could still do events." And he said, "I saw that it said I was recently near Mr. Killer Bee. And then I came in and I saw there was an event happening at Killer Bee Studios hosted by you. So I thought, I better go there." He's like, "Now what you don't know is my best friend of 25 years passed away last night." And he's like, unexpectedly. And he's also my boss. So not only did I lose my best friend, I also don't have a job anymore. And he was ready to give up on life. And he said he decided, I'm going to put on the headset and I'm going to go into Horizons to see if there's something to do. And he came there, and when he came, he said what he heard us talking about on stage was exactly what he needed to hear. So we got to pray with him, talk to him, and it's like there's real, again, everything that you do in here, ask yourself, what is your purpose in here? What is your purpose? Ours is to connect people, to help transform lives, give them hope. The studios, I hope it'll turn into something we're doing more broadcasting on a bigger level from here. With podcasters, we brought some podcasters, the co-founder of Buzzsprout in, but with Killer Bee Marketing this is a place, again, when I look at digital, I've been in digital since 2006, professionally doing work in digital, websites, social media, all that across the board, content. We help with content writing. We've been doing that since 2006. When I put on this headset, there is nothing on digital that creates a connection like you can get in here. So if it comes down to creating, I feel like the future of marketing and brands and building comes down to relationships. Without relationship, you're not going to have trust. So we're here to help teach people like this is like real connection as close as I can see in a digital format. And I've fallen in love with it because I've fallen in love with the people in here. There's so many amazing people and kids and just good people in here.
Yeah.
Really good people.
I would have to agree. And you again, I don't know how you know how to do this, but you've definitely managed to allow me to segue into these situations like effortlessly sometimes. Queen 205, if you want, you can sit right in one of the blocks if you want to, because you're on the stage right now, babe. Thank you. So real quick, for those who don't know, there was this world published, because I'm definitely going to talk about it because I said I was. There was a world published. It was a racist type of world. It had the N word all over the place and things like that. But I'm just glad. It's just funny how God works and things like that, and how certain situations happen to ease the tension and things like that. Because in that happening, I watched certain avatars or certain people within this space get quiet in regard to the situation, and they didn't have a voice. Some people had voices louder than me at particular times, but then that made me revert back and just think that everybody's journey is different, like she was saying, and like they were alluding to all day. Everybody's journey in life is different. Some people don't have the power to come out there and speak as loudly as they want to. So us that do have those voices have to speak 3 times as loud so we can be heard in regards because some people have to have that job. You know what I'm saying? Some people are relying on those people to make sure that they make ends meet, and they have food on the table and clothes on their backs and things like that. So I can't judge that person's and what they can't do based on what I can do. If that makes any sense like that.
Yeah.
So, and even in what they don't say, the fact that they're in that position pisses people off anyway. So you're still getting what you want, even if they're not speaking. So that's what I had to realize, and that's what I had to come to understanding on, that everybody is different and everybody have to fight a different way. Some of us are loud as hell, like me. But some of us are quiet and behind the scenes, but are just as effective.
Sure.
And they're all needed. Just like this
Good.
right here. This is needed to push the narrative of, yes, we can accomplish something as a whole and as an entity together, because there's definitely strength in numbers.
Yes,
And
amen.
I would definitely want to say thank you guys for coming through, man. I appreciate the dialogue today. I already knew this was going to be a phenomenal show from
Yeah.
the word go.
Yeah, well, thank
I
you.
don't-
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you for having us out too. I mean, and don't forget to ask her about the bee
Oh no,
bread.
we're gonna get to the bee bread. We're gonna get to the bee bread. Okay, so no, fuck, we're gonna do it now. So check this out.
Transitioning. No.
Right. Another transition.
That was
So check
not a
this out.
smooth transition.
So, hold up. We got Meta Coach up there clearing his throat. Hold up. Go ahead, sir. Pause.
That
Go ahead, sir.
that was on mute.
What's happening, Captain?
Well, I just want to say to Mr. and Mrs. Killer Bee, when I came on and I started looking at doing my talk show, they invited me to come on and participate with them from time to time. And they've been kind of like just an open door for me to come in and learn and to fellowship and to spend time. And one of the metaphors for my coaching practice is a lighthouse. And as a lighthouse, I look for other lighthouses. And I see you all as a big, bright lighthouse in this place. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Meta
Thank
Coach.
you so much.
Thank
That is
you,
so
man.
encouraging.
We love what you're doing, Meta Coach. We love you, man. What
Oh
you
my
guys
gosh,
do over there.
absolutely.
If I could, it's all that and then some. Now, y'all don't know this young lady, but I've met her, 3 months ago or something like that, right? Was it Domino's or something like that? She was scrolling around too, and she trying to figure out her way. Yes, get on the box. Yes, ma'am. Come here. Yo, I'm gonna talk about her anyway. Yo, so lo and behold, she's a fucking whiz at building. Like, yo,
Oh.
Oh,
I didn't know this. We was up in with Dirt Diggs World throwing what would we be throwing?
Co- ring toss. I don't know.
Oh, whatever. Right.
Coming on this burden too.
Get on the box. Get on the box.
I have seen this woman's bills and
Oh,
Horizon Awards.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Horizon
yes.
Awards. Amazing,
Yo.
amazing talent
thank
here.
you, thank
And
you.
we are just so, again, just
I had
Brilliant,
no
brilliant,
clue.
brilliant.
I
Great
had
job.
no clue what I was introducing myself to. I like, look, are you serious? Yo, she was a part of the Metacella
Yes.
event, if I'm not mistaken, ma'am.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to tell them some of the stuff that you built? Maybe kinda.
I wasn't expecting this.
Oh.
I would like to consider myself a new builder, an up and coming builder. Just slowly
Definitely.
putting my work out there slowly. So Metacella was a huge stepping stone for me because I don't know if you guys know who Wayne's World is, but he's been my mentor and I'm a part of his team, which is We Brand. And he's been
Yes.
really
Shout out,
pushing
Wayne.
me to
Shout out
put
Wayne.
my work out there. Yeah, shout out to Wayne. Big shout out to Wayne. But he's been really pushing me to, push my work out there and get me out there and not be behind the scenes so much. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Phenomenal. No,
awesome.
Thank
I
you.
did not know. But she really did her work. Like she really sat in build mode. Like, yo, I'm in here. Like I'm gonna figure this out. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, you better than me. You are better than me. But
Thank
no,
you.
I continue success, ma'am, and I look forward to watching all the creations that you have within this space because I know where it came from. So I love to see the whole build up and see what you blossom into. Definitely.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Love to
No
see that.
doubt. No doubt. No doubt. So
I love it.
I'm,
And,
Go
when
ahead.
you said that too, I want to encourage if there's any builders in here, like that is one of the things that when it comes to our official business, Killer Bee Marketing, is we're waiting to the point where the industry really starts, and it's come a long way because when I first started this, I mean literally, I've been at conferences, spoken at conferences, and people think I'm literally crazy. You guys probably have experienced it yourself in real life. What are you in that game? I mean, we have legs now, so that brings us a little bit more sanity to ourselves.
Yeah, a little more sanity.
But it's starting to pick up and people are getting more curious with it. And one of those things that I'm trying to keep an eye out for is builders that are looking to build, because when people in the industry comes to us, we're not going to be able to build all that stuff for them,
Yeah.
but we want to be able to connect them with builders
Connect,
that
exactly.
can.
Mhm.
So, make sure you follow us too, and connect. Like we want to
There
learn
you
what
go.
you do. So
There y'all go. Another networking tool for you guys
Yeah.
to utilize. Hey, we're making it happen out here, man. So here's the story. So I've been doing a lot of research of how to keep myself healthy and things like that. So this thing called, of course, okay, they're fascinated with bees and things like that. So I'm doing all this research on bees and all these other things. I'm looking at all these agents and how bees are just like the center of the universe in regard to what they provide for us. Like it's crazy how much they do for us. But this thing called bee bread that I read up on. It's like a superfood or something like that, to where it does this thing to your body and you get this bee buzz type thing or whatever have you. But I'm gonna get spoiled. I hope she found out this recipe. Did you find anything on it?
I am
ma'am?
so excited to tell you about this. Okay. So when Burden brought this up to me and he said, I've, researched this, I found this, I want to know what it is, see if you can figure it out. So I said, what you're describing sounds like bee pollen, which has just unbelievable benefits. And so I started researching more as well, because I thought you must use bee pollen to make bee bread. Guess what, Burden? Bee bread and bee pollen are the same thing. It's just two different names. So it is so easy. I don't even have to make anything. I just have to send you some bee pollen. So the thing that I'm really excited about is that as I started looking into it more, I already knew, like, I don't know, maybe 5 benefits to bee pollen, which is the reason why I was using it. Energy, uh, it can bring down your cholesterol. It has protein. It's like higher levels of protein than anything else on earth.
Wow.
It tastes amazing, by the way. That's what's shocking. Like, normally you are going to decide, I'm going to go with this superfood. I'm going to take it. I'm going to choke it down. Bee pollen tastes amazing. I mean, it tastes like, it's
Bee
kind of hard to
pollen?
describe, really. No, it tastes like
Bread.
Well, I
honey,
saw
but
the
not
description.
quite.
They're like
Yeah.
Skittles or something like that.
Well,
I don't
I
know.
don't know about
Really?
that. No,
That's-
it doesn't taste
Oh,
like
okay.
Skittles. I don't like how Skittles taste, so maybe that's why
Oh,
I don't
okay.
see the connection. It tastes amazing. I told I told Brian, I was like, I think this is what manna, from the Bible tasted like. Because remember how it was like described like a honey flavored wafer or something? That's what
Ah.
that's what I think it tastes like. God was giving people bee pollen, which actually does not surprise me because I found out that honey is the only thing on earth that can sustain human life for a long period of time. It has enough nutrients that you could live on honey. You could just
Oh,
live on it.
wow.
I
Interesting.
never knew that.
Isn't that shocking?
Yo, man, see what we doing here on this show? What y'all doing, man?
Get yourself some bee pollen.
Yo, be red. So, okay. So, can I give you my address now?
Yeah, it's just broadcast.
Yo,
right here.
Medicoach, I'm telling you now, bro. I'm sorry about your package, bro, but my name gotta go on the top of the list, bro. I
They're
need
gonna
this.
go
I
in the mail
need
at the
this.
He's
same
like,
time.
no.
Yo,
Jen,
I
yeah.
need this.
Jen, Medicoach,
Yep.
Burden-Proof, all in the same day. I promise.
Well, thank you guys,
Yeah.
man. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Of course.
Before we get out of here, you want to let everybody know how they can contact you guys and get in contact with you guys if they have anything that they
Yeah.
want to present to you? Go ahead, right ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So you can definitely check us out online, killerbeestudios.com. You can find all our events, our calendar, our full calendar's on there. Tomorrow night we have a show. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Our shows are usually Thursday nights. Tomorrow night is Honey Talks, and that's me and Mrs. Killer Bee, and our producer Meta Livia will be here. And she'll be running the board and she'll be part of the show. But tomorrow night, we're actually going to be talking about, I don't know if anybody's ever heard of the Blue Zones.
Yeah.
But
Have
it's,
y'all ever heard of the blue
heard of
zones
blue
of the
zones?
world where people have longer lives than other places in the world? Have you ever heard of
Like-
that concept?
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we're
Copper,
gonna be
you heard of
talking
that
about that.
concept? Because Copper be doing all that TikTok researching and stuff like that. You ever heard of that concept?
Oh, this is fascinating.
This is
you
fascinating.
Guys.
Yeah, so you should come out tomorrow night. We're going to be talking about the blue zones and what we've been learning and just some things we're thinking about because it's Honey Talk. So we're just, we usually
have a
talk about
conversation.
marriage and
Mhm.
family and friends, stuff like that. But we're just going to talk about this because it's something that we've been talking about at the house here at our Wi-Fi thing is called the Hive here at the house. So
Yeah.
at the Hive,
At
we've
the
been
Hive.
talking
Makes
about
sense,
blue
makes
zone.
sense.
So yeah, but
Gone
yeah, you
way
can do that.
overboard as far as this is
Yeah, we've
concerned.
kind of overdone it. Like
I love
we're like,
it.
what's all
I
the buzz
love it.
about? But no, you can also follow us on Instagram, killerbee.studios on Instagram. You can connect with us there too. So
Yes,
Awesome.
we would love to hear from you.
we'd love to hear
Awesome.
from you all.
Thank you guys, man.
Yeah, well, thank
Thanks
you.
for having
no,
us.
man, I appreciate
This
you
was a
guys coming, man.
blast.
Yes, it was. I had a blast. Anybody have anything else before we get up out of here? No, we good. We
Thank
good.
y'all for
See me, bro. I
coming.
see you up there, baby. What's up, man? Copper. Hey, check this out, Copper. Check this out. You want me to tell you something? Copper? Let me tell you something, Copper. If you go into the Bay, right? It might be a little chilly. It might not be a little chilly. You're going southern. You know what I'm saying? You might be good with shorts. All right? It is what it is. Have fun. Drink some Mai Tais or something like that, too. Hey, so check me out. Yo, thank you guys for coming through, man. I had a blast on this show. I hope you guys got a lot of information from this one. I know I did. And yeah, it's strength in numbers in this thing, man. So let's continue to be positive and push the narrative in here and get all this hateful shit up out of here. And
Yeah.
I'm just let y'all know now. Once we get up out of here, we taking a picture by Malcolm X and MF's son. No, We missed something.
We are going to the loft after that. That's where
Okay.
we're going. But listen, let me tell
to
you.
the loft.
Let me just close out real quick by saying this to you guys. Killer, I am just so happy again that you guys are here. I'm going to reiterate what I said earlier. I saw Hardy West in the building.
Shout out Hardy. What up, boy? I saw you.
I just
take suntan lotion.
Right. I love it because you understand connection. You know what I mean? And all the great people here, leaders here, understand Burden, Copper, Hardy, See Me Bro. You know, Jennifer's Matt Coach. They all understand. We all understand that it's about us standing together, being a light from the darkness. And the more we stand together, the brighter we are. And I just wish you all the best as you create an amazing journey here in the metaverse. And just whatever you need from us, please just know you can ask. You know why you can ask? Because we're going to say yes. You know why we're going to say yes? Because it's the God in you that flows through you, that makes us trust and understand that it is the will of the goodness that you're trying to do. So keep on doing what you're doing. And listen, be safe in the meta streets and be kind, everybody.
So is that a robe or a what is
listen,
where you
this is
from?
my drip, bruh. Listen, you need to get in them closets.
yo, Drew. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. We out, y'all.
Indeed.
Later, y'all. Hey, let's take this picture, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Everybody runs over here now. See all their legs running. Where you at, Mrs. Killer B? What's up, lady? Get quicker by me.
Okay.
I always have to push you by me. I put my arm around you. I put my arm on your head.
Oh, we got legs now. What we doing?
You're gonna pat me?
Yeah, I'll put my arm around here.
We all right in here? We all here? We good? Yes, we are. On three, guys. One. Oh, snap. Do that again. Who got that?
I was like,
What was it?
something.
See me, bro, man. How you get that? Is that ribs?
Yeah, ribs.
Say word.
It's like